This episode of the Commercial Real Estate Investor Podcast is brought to you by my CRE Accelerator Mastermind, where you'll get access to my step-by-step investment blueprint, essentially a library of resources on how to invest in commercial real estate. You'll get connected to a supportive community of other commercial real estate investors that are doing projects just like you. You'll get personalized coaching and feedback from me every step of the way. Go to www.crecentral.com to learn more. Welcome back to 30 Deals in 30 Days. Today is day 21 of the challenge where I'm going live every single day and underwriting a deal that either I'm randomly finding on LoopNet, CREXE, whatever, or that you guys have submitted to me through the 30 Deals, 30 Days chat. Nate is saying, Tyler, could you do Boise, Idaho? Nate, I would be happy to do it. Drop that deal in the 30 Deals, 30 Days chat. You can join the chat by joining the challenge. That link is in the description below. Happy to do it, and that is where you guys will see the deal that we were diving into today. Z is saying, missed this morning's live stream, was day trading, but here now, let's go. Well, Z, I hope you made a ton of money doing some day trading. Let's see what the members of the challenge have in store for me today. All right, Daniel saying, Tyler, this has been a great learning experience so far. With each video, I'm beginning to feel more comfortable underwriting deals. That's awesome to hear, Daniel. I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you for taking the time to do this. Absolutely. I'm happy to do it. All right, let's see. This is a property in Metro Atlanta, sits on a busy highway with lots of visibility. It needs some work, but I could see this as a medical office, accounting office, law office, or something similar. Would you be willing to underwrite this in a video? Absolutely. Daniel, here we are. Let's dive into it. Let's see what we've got going on here. Okay, so very much office space. You know, sometimes when you look at these buildings, you say, it could probably be utilized for something else. This seems almost like a residential home. Maybe it was at one point and it got converted into office. I could definitely, I see what Daniel's talking about though. I could see this being a cool medical office, like family practitioner, a law practice. Looks like it might have been used for something like that in the past. Needs some serious updating. I love commercially zoned homes, though. There's a charm that they have that other commercial buildings don't, and there's typically a lot of businesses that like to have these, depending on the location. So, yeah, I mean, it looks, the biggest thing is it looks very out of date. I think you'll have to spend a decent amount of money to get this back up to spec. 2,000 square feet. It was built in 1950. Let's see if we can look at the flyer and learn a little bit more about it. It's been on the market for 486 days, so I wonder what the problem is. Downtown Snellville, about an acre, some road frontage. You're across or near Piedmont Urgent Care. That's good. No formal flyer, just the CREXE summary. Well, I can probably tell you right now why it's been on the market for 486 days. This broker is giving us no information at all as to what is going on here. It's interesting to me that they've started adding this in. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this before. We have so many extreme weather events nowadays that you have to start considering that. Kind of nice that CREXE has that. Population is increasing. We like to see that. Household income in the immediate area, pretty strong. I like that. 37 is the average age. 19,000 employees. Very much driven by homeowners. I like that because there's probably some money in the area. Maybe somebody that owns their home, that's a doctor, would like to have their office here as well. The thing that I would have to ask, though, Daniel, is if this would make a great property for a law firm or a doctor, why wouldn't they buy it, right? If they were already in the market looking at it, $350,000 is pretty cheap. Let's run the math on this real quick. $350K divided by 2,032 square feet gives us $172 a foot. Not a bad price. Not a great price, actually, though. In my opinion, $172 a foot. You could tear this thing down and rebuild it for probably cheaper than that. I mean, maybe. It is brick. It does have a nice stone facade. It's on an acre. It could be in a high in demand area. But with it being on market for 486 days, I kind of doubt it, right? Like, that's kind of odd. So here's the thing, though. Using my back of napkin math, if I wanted to get a 12% cap rate on this, I just need to rent it for $20 a square foot, triple net. And the deal works. The problem is I'm not going to be able to get a true 12% cap rate because we're probably going to have to spend, what, $100,000 to get this thing fixed up? Maybe not quite that much, maybe closer to $50,000, but it's going to be a lot. I mean, you know, that if we look at these photos, I'll show you guys all the things that I'd be pointing out. I mean, first of all, this property doesn't look like it's being cared for whatsoever. I mean, just the leaves and debris everywhere. That makes me concerned for, you know, what may be going on with this roof or what may be going on with some of the areas closer to where the crawl space of the basement might be. I mean, clearly it's just not being maintained. Like, typically, if you're going to list a property for sale, you're going to want to show it in the best light. And if this is the best light, we're not doing so hot already. Like, that could use pressure washing, you know? I wonder why they didn't do that. Because pressure washing is pretty cheap. I mean, look at that ceiling fan. That is like straight out of the 80s or 90s. Really old, man. I think this fireplace is super cool. That track lighting right there, not the best. Em is saying, thanks for all your support here and a ton of information. Happy to do it, Em. Glad you're enjoying it. Spyro, let's go. Finally made it here live. Good to see you again, Spyro. Long time no see. Let's see. I love the floors. I mean, it's nice looking hardwood, at least from these pictures. I don't know what the hell this is. I mean, it looks like a display case in another photo, but honestly, that looks like a shower. It looks like they've just got a shower that they turned into a display case. So front desk. I mean, that's fine, I guess. See, I mean, look at that. Doesn't that just look like a straight up shower? Again, display case, really? This is kind of weird. I just got to get ripped out. That's creeping me out. At a bare minimum, you've got to at least take out this scroll saw pattern here or whatever that is. Get rid of that. You know, repaint the cabinets. I mean, what is this industrial sink doing in here that kind of ruins the whole vibe of it being like a house, you know, commercially zoned home? Need to put like a nice sink in there. You know, we'd want to do that. Probably upgrade the hardware on the cabinets. You know, your fridge or your stove is going to go here, so that'll get covered up. I just think this is odd. Like, it's a very industrial sink. I kind of like this. You know, the brick walls, that's cool. Whatever. I don't like this lighting. What is that? That's like industrial lighting. Very odd. Some very odd choices made in this house over the years. All right, we got some storage in the basement. I like this. This is like an old school refrigerator or freezer. Not sure which one it is. Em is saying, like the page, that we can get more and more information. Yeah, that's right. Keep it coming. Appreciate it, Em. Z is saying, have you ever bought property by asking land price where there's a building on it but had bad conditions, but you have to knock it down and then rebuild it? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, if the building is in bad enough condition, I'll actually subtract that from the land price because I have to spend money to demo it. So it just depends. This is creepy as hell. I don't know what is happening in this room. I'm assuming we went through the refrigerator door there. This is kind of creepy. I mean, this tile is actually kind of cool again. So I like that, but everything else needs to be kind of updated to match that. I like the tile on the floor. Let me take that back. Like, that tile could be cool. It's gonna have to have a lot more stuff done with it to make it fit and look right. Those hardwoods look a little rough. I can't zoom in, but like you see right here, looks like something's going on. It's more storage. Okay, well, not a lot of information. Let's see what the area is like. Oh, that's interesting. You're right next to a big shopping center. That's kind of wild. You're like in the middle of a pretty interesting commercial area. Snellville City Hall. That looks like some apartments. Looks like a major thoroughfare right there. Let's see actually where we are. Okay, so very east of Atlanta. Look at that. You're kind of in the middle of everything. Like this is downtown Snellville. And it looks like you're kind of on the thoroughfare that's headed towards all of the stuff, right? We got a Kohl's. I didn't know they were still in business. Michael's, Extra Space Storage, Starbucks. I saw Target a minute ago. Looks like you've got the hospitals over here. So I could see medical office for sure. Hampton Inn and Suites. Looks like this area might be kind of known for its medical center. What it seems like to me. Sam's Club, Walmart Supercenter. Okay, so this is an interesting draw. Like this area has an interesting draw. Let's get on the ground. Let's see what we can see. I mean, not bad looking. I just don't think this thing is being marketed well. I mean, it looks decent. You know, all the pictures we saw, like I didn't see anything that was like, oh, that's a big problem. It's just it's old. Needs to be updated. You got a cleaners. Oh man, we went back in time. February 2020. So here's the shopping center next door. I mean, it seems like a decent area. All right, let's see what things are leasing for in Snellville, Georgia. Kevin is saying, and we're live. Yes, we are. No, it is not a multifamily underwriting. This is some sort of office. We're not sure what kind of office yet. But man, I'm not good at underwriting multifamily. It's so much work. I don't like. I mean, honestly, the amount of time you guys. I mean, you guys have been watching me do this 21 times now. It is very easy for me to go underwrite a commercial deal in 30 to 45 minutes. I don't think that you can do that with multifamily. I get not even remotely close. I mean, maybe you can. Maybe there's some guys out there that have underwritten so many, or they have their process down so well they're really good at it. I could never do that. It always took so much more time than that. Okay, office space for lease. 10 to 12 bucks a foot at this old flexi looking building. Undisclosed rate, we love those. 1680 to 26 bucks a foot. Okay, so maybe we can get 26 bucks a foot. Let's look at this. See what's going on. I mean, these suites are as small as 150 though, but they go up to 6,000. So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so 17, 16, 18, 19, 26 is for 150 square feet. That's not good. So 1,400 square feet is going for $19 a foot. 4,200 for $19 a foot. So I mean, we'll probably get 19 to $22 a foot modified gross based off of that comp. Not really excited about that. $2,450 a month. This is probably a better comp, seems like. Probably not going to give us the price that we want. That's a much nicer unit, I'll tell you that. How many square feet is it, though? Oh, man. They don't even tell you how many square feet the space is. Zero square feet. All right, well, that doesn't help us at all. I'm telling you guys, if you want to be good in commercial real estate brokerage, just do the bare minimum. Put your square footage on your listings. Pretty wild. 688 square feet for $21 a foot. 800 square feet for $19 a foot. It's not looking good for us. 190 square feet for 30. I think we're somewhere between 14 and $18 a foot, to be honest with you. Z's saying, watch out for Starbucks. I hear they're closing their locations. They closed 2 locations near my office. Yeah, but here's the thing. Starbucks is still doing really well. That's always kind of been part of their model. So what they'll do, because I am very familiar with Starbucks. We're actually doing a video on Starbucks right now. That actually doesn't even have anything to do with that. But they always expand very aggressively to see, if they can pick up more market share. And if they don't, they will kick out, they will close down those stores within 2 or 3 years. Pretty close. I mean, they're aggressive on it. Tyler, I made it nice. What's up, Luis? What are your thoughts on leasehold interest properties? I can't wrap my head around why someone will buy it structured that way, but maybe you know otherwise. I can't either, to be honest with you. I'm not interested in a leasehold property. It makes 0 sense to me. It's got to make sense for somebody. Clearly, people buy them, but I've got better things to do with my life than to buy a lease that at the end of the lease I get nothing from. I don't need cash flow like that. Haven't seen this deal seems to scream 2-unit doctor's office and pharmacy, big sign outside. I agree. Could be in that area. Josh is saying retail comps are all $21 a foot, low as 18, high as 30, averaging 1,600 to 2,400 square feet. So that's the other thing. I mean, if this is standalone like that, maybe you could do some form of retail, right? Maybe you've got a maker creator or something like that. So we'll look at it maybe we might be able to look at it from a retail perspective. I mean, I think either way you look at it, it's probably going to end up being an office user just because of the nature of this deal. Like if we look at this, I just think, and maybe this is a better way of doing it. I look at that. I'm like, maybe a coffee shop. I mean, I've seen some really cool coffee shops in houses like this. They've got the parking for it. Be kind of cool, but they'd probably have to do food. It'd be expensive. They'd have to build it out. I do feel good on the office side that we're kind of at that like 17, $18 a foot range. But that seems to be modified gross. So I don't know if I feel great about that. This is a tough one, Daniel. Some of these have been super easy. Like there was one that I underwrote. I think we were done in 21 minutes. It's been 20 minutes. We were done with that deal in like 21 minutes. Just I think somebody sent in like a single tenant net lease deal. And the nice thing about those, like it's just underwriting. These other ones, you got to kind of think through critically, like what's going on in the market? Why would somebody lease this space? You know, is the visibility strong? It seems like it is. I just can't wrap my head around who the real user would be. Like I look at 486 days on market and I'm like, okay, what was the problem? What is the problem? Why haven't they been able to get this sold? Looks like oh wow, I didn't realize that Crexie is starting to integrate Placer AI into it. Pretty cool. All right, similar properties. These all look like pieces. It is saying could turn it into a law office. A lot of homes like Old Brick that here in Augusta, Snellville are leased, owned by attorneys' offices. Yeah, that was one of Daniel's ideas, I think, could be an attorney's office. Yeah, how much do I have to pay for this? Access free insights anytime, no credit card needed. Well, they're going to be asking for something, I'll tell you that. All right. Man, we didn't find any good comps. Like, I don't feel outstanding on the comps. Like, I wonder if we can filter this down to a single tenant, size under 3,000 square feet, and then remove this boundary and see what shows up. I want to see everything in this area that is a single tenant deal. This is not a single tenant deal. So it looks like maybe you have one tenant upstairs, one tenant downstairs. 391 days on market. They can't get this thing leased. Just reduced $400 per month. So 2,020 square feet of fully upgraded office space. Tenant picks the remaining flooring. Stair access only, no elevator. That can always be tough. Lease rate is $3,200 a month without any additional upgrades. Minimum 2-year lease terms. So $3,200 a month. Yeah, I guess I said $19 a foot. So $19 a foot, and they're not able to get it. They just dropped it to that apparently. I don't know if I feel good about that. That's the same building. That's the same building. Zoom out a little bit, see what we can get. Retail. Here's office. Asking $12 to $24 a foot per year. Let's see how long this one's been on the market. 116 days. Daniel, I'm not feeling really good about our ability to lease office space in this market. Everything that we've seen has been on market over 100 days. Ooh. Normally at this point, I would not even underwrite this deal. I'm going to do it for you guys so that we can go through the practice. But I wouldn't underwrite this deal because it seems to me like unless there's some sort of additional story that I don't know, it's pretty risky. And I just don't see how the deal is going to pan out. Unless we got it for probably cheaper than what they're asking. And whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And they may not be happy to do that, which is, I guess it's understandable. All right. Square footage is 2,032. They are asking 350, I think. Yeah, that's right. 172 bucks a foot. I think we're going to have to put $50,000 into this thing. I mean, I think you could easily do that. Closing costs, let's say $5,000. Maybe 7,500. A bank is going to look at this and go, you know what? You're going to have to put down 30%. I'm speculating. I have no idea. But I would imagine with it being office space, it having been on the market for a while, a bank's going to be like, not feeling so hot on this one. We'll go to 7% interest rate. We'll keep the amortization at 20 years. And looking at the lease comps, I feel like it's $14 a foot. I mean, maybe we can get more than that. I don't know. I think it's going to be 3% annual increases. If we come over here to the vacancy rate, we're going to be 100% vacant that first year. I almost guarantee it. So we need to account for that the right way. Let's see. Let's offer $250K. We will do it. Let me go through and just underwrite it as it is right now, and then we're going to make up some numbers. Let's see here. I do need to pay 6% commissions. And I wonder if we have operating expenses. I mean, we may not because a lot of these were modified gross. So what I might do then is let's look up for sale. See if we can find some office buildings that have offering memorandums where they actually disclose those comps. They disclose anything? No. Don't. So we'll go a little further out. That's a big property. I bet they've got that. But let's see if there's something that's kind of closer in size. No. Maybe. Let's see. Please type double net. See what the flyer says. Oh gosh, this is like hurting my eyes. Oh, what is that? Come on, man, just tell me what the operating expenses are. Nope, just a bunch of pictures. I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you're trying to sell a property and I'm a buyer, I'm going to want to know what my property taxes, building insurance, all that stuff is, right? If you can't tell me, what the hell are we doing here? Ooh, 16 million, 160,000 square feet, 5-year weighted average lease term. I mean, that could be a pretty cool offering. That looks nice. Oops, didn't mean to click on it. $100 a foot. It's not bad. Giant building, though. That's pretty cool. Sorry, getting distracted. Long-term stable office tenant. Let's see what this one pulls up. Z is saying, have you ever done a lease option to purchase? I actually haven't. I have negotiated them for clients, but I have not personally done one. I'm not necessarily a fan of that option. You could definitely do well with it, but and if you're trying not to outlay a ton of capital or anything like that, it could be good. It's a great option, but for me, I mean, was this just put together by ChatGPT? People that don't understand that like all of these emojis are just all ChatGPT. So I can tell that you put this together in ChatGPT. It's like, come on, man. At least go through and edit it for a second. Like that just looks like straight ChatGPT quality. Okay, so their annual rent is $274,000, and the NOI is $229,000. Look at that. Okay, controllable expenses $32,160. Divided by how many square feet is this thing? Oh, you know what? Let's add in the non-controllable expenses. Plus 25,600. So 57,760. And this property is 8,946. So about $6.50 a foot. That seems high, but this is a medical space, so that would make sense. I mean, we're actually not going to have. We'll pass the landscaping off onto the tenant. We'll pass pest control onto the tenant. Security won't exist. Cleaning on the tenant. Utilities on the tenant, so we can get rid of the controllable expenses. So maybe we just keep the insurance and the taxes, which would be $25,600 divided by the $89.46. That gives us $2.86 a foot. All right. So the tenant is fully responsible for everything else. All I need to account for this first year is actually, you know what? I will probably take into account, let's say $5 a foot for the first year because we're fully vacant, right? Second year, I'm going to say we're down to 50 cents a foot just to cover random operating expenses here and there and everywhere. Game Master saying 21 days. Let's go. Only 3 likes. Let's show him some love. Yeah, I appreciate that, Game Master. Dude, Game Master's a great show editor. He's always in here saying, give him the likes. Don't forget long dashes. Dead giveaway for GPT. Yeah, I don't understand that. I think like there are some very obvious signs that something was created in ChatGPT, and I don't think that's necessarily bad. I get it. Like we use ChatGPT all the time for all of the random stuff that we just don't want to have to sit there and format and type and do this, that, and the other. But like at least edit it. You know what I mean? Like edit it. Use your brain for a part of it. Okay, net operating income. We do get to a 126. Wow, that's at $14 a foot. That's kind of surprising. Oh, look at all the like. Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thank you for jumping on. I'm glad y'all are enjoying this kind of stuff. All right. I can't believe that we hit a debt service coverage ratio of 126 in the second year. That's substantially stronger than I thought that it was going to be. So that's good. Let's say that we negotiated with our bank to get 12 months of interest only. So I have deleted our principal pay down, our principal reduction for year one. Let's see. I am not going to syndicate this because this is not a syndicatable deal. Reserves, you're probably going to want closer to maybe $1. it's just such a small property that you're going to need it, I think. You know, because I mean, think about it. If the HVAC unit goes out, it's going to be over $2,000. So, yes, we'll negotiate with the tenant to have them pay for it. But let's be real. If I'm a tenant and I'm coming in and your HVAC unit is 7 years old, I'm negotiating a cap on that HVAC expense when it blows out because I didn't get to use 7 years of it. 0. I mean, look at that. It cash flows pretty well. We get up to a point where it's making sense. There's not a chance this thing's going for below an 8. And at that point, it's not a bad deal. I mean, we're talking about 81% on our money. 16% annualized cash-on-cash return. Not phenomenal, but not bad. Keep in mind, we're bringing $50,000 to the table. We're spicing this place up a little bit. It needs some love. But I like what M was saying earlier, man. Let's go for $250. I doubt that we can get it for $123 a foot. But if you guys want to see how big of a difference that makes on this project, look at this. Your debt service coverage ratio is 1.68 in year 2. You're cash flowing 16, 17, 18% cash on cash, and you're making 300%. Well, you're making 200% on your money, but you're getting a 3x return. You put in $100,000, you're getting back $300,000. So a 40% annualized cash on cash return. That's pretty good. That's really, really good. But let's say they're going to be like, no, we're obviously not going to take 250. So we end up settling at 300. Cash flow's still great. We're not upset about that. And then look at that, we're still more than doubling our money. So it might work at the 350, assuming that what is it, $50,000 that we brought to the table is enough for the renovations that we would need. And that's at $14 a foot net, which, I mean, for an office building, I think is pretty reasonable. Keep in mind, we're telling a tenant, hey, it's basically $5 a foot for everything else. So $19 a foot, 19 times 2,032 divided by 12. We're basically telling a tenant, hey, you can have a standalone building on an acre in a very busy area for $3,200 a month plus utilities. Do you want it? It's pretty cheap. I think you can find a tenant to do that. Daniel, I got to say, I'm surprised, man. I did not think this deal was going to work. This is why we underwrite. This is exactly why we do it. You still got to run the math on it because you never know what might actually kind of surprise you. Zia saying, can you underwrite one and a lease option to purchase? No, unfortunately I can't. And I'll tell you why. Lease options are relatively complicated when it comes to underwriting, simply because I'm going to have to sign a lease with somebody. And then, I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to do it, but like I would be signing a lease with them. I'd be paying them $20 a month. And then I would have to go and find other tenants. They're going to pay me $30 a month. And then I would have to figure out when to buy it. So to me, like a lease option is not good for like a pure investor. Like if you're a business, and you want to, eventually own your own space, I think lease options are great. But unfortunately it would just be too difficult, for us to do live here. GPT and numbers or math, don't get along. Yeah. Always negotiate HVAC and Cali, I was told. Yeah. The HVAC, I mean, look, every landlord, I get it. You try to put it on the tenant, but it's just never going to happen that way. And honestly, like I straight up tell my tenants, like, hey, we're going to give you an annual cap at $1,500. You spend 100% of everything up to $1,500 as long as you provide receipts. We will spend the money above and beyond that because they should be paying for the regular maintenance, any minor repairs, stuff like that, because they are the ones using it. But if the unit blows out, I'll pay for it, So, well, there you have it. Daniel, maybe you should look into this deal a little bit more. Maybe it'll work out for you. Z is asking, out of all the deals you've underwritten in 21 days, what deal was your favorite? Oh my gosh. That's a good question. I haven't even really thought about that. I would have to go in and look. I mean, honestly, the one that like the first one that we did, I thought was pretty great. When I had Chris here in the studio, everybody liked that one. I thought so that was day one. Day 14 was fun because we got to do an autopsy of one of my past deals. But you guys have all been giving me some great deals to dive into. It's been a lot of fun kind of seeing, all of these deals from around the country. And if nothing else, I hope that the 21 days and eventually the 30 days will show you that there are deals everywhere. Like this whole, there's no deals in my market. Dude, we went out and underwrote deals in California. We underwrote we've underwritten deals all over the country in markets that you wouldn't necessarily think would work, and they work. So I think it's just a matter. It's not that there aren't deals out there. It's not that the deals don't work. It's that you just haven't learned how to look at the deals yet. So hopefully this challenge has kind of opened that door. Guys, thanks for joining me for day 21. Tomorrow, you will see me live streaming from Mexico. I'm headed out there for a buddy's wedding, but I will still be going live and underwriting deals with you all. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. This episode of the Commercial Real Estate Investor Podcast is brought to you by my CRE Accelerator Mastermind, where you'll get access to my step-by-step investment blueprint, essentially a library of resources on how to invest in commercial real estate. You'll get connected to a supportive community of other commercial real estate investors that are doing projects just like you. You'll get personalized coaching and feedback from me every step of the way. Go to www.crecentral.com to learn more.